It's fucking, what a cunt. What a stupid cunt. All right. I'm gonna turn this one back on until it fucking,
There.
hey, well, it's, yeah.
Hey, Chad.
Hey guys, what's going on?
See? God damn it.
So, Andy, hold on. Hi, Chad. Andy, what
Hey,
if we unplugged your external camera and we use the onboard camera from the laptop?
Yeah.
You will have to
Okay,
select.
yeah, I gotta unplug it. Yeah.
Well, once you
Yeah,
unplug
unplug
it, it'll default to it.
Well, one would hope, but his system in the
not.
past, we've had to reboot every time to initialize the
Go, start
the
video.
equipment.
Wait, start video.
There you go.
That fucking corpsey looking mother. The other camera makes me look a little bit less dead, and I don't give a shit because that's how I am, man. So yeah, I think problem solved.
Yeah, you're shiny.
There we go. All right.
Hey, boys. Cheers.
Howdy.
Fucking 100 degrees or 90 probably everywhere, right? You in the hundreds, Erickson?
I never made 100 today. We're in a cool snap. 98, I think, was the high. So
If anyone's into science, that bullshit, they say it was like the last couple days have been the hottest on record.
yeah,
So that's
Yeah.
cool.
If anyone's into science, that bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, people don't agree that science is a thing anymore.
Well, that's true.
Like if I would have known that when I took science, I would have gotten at least a C.
But there have been idiots and imbeciles throughout history. Science still goes.
you're right though, Andy. None of us thought in school to make the argument that science itself is bullshit.
Yeah,
Like the whole thing. It never occurred to anybody that would be a winning argument. But
You'll
I
never
mean,
need this.
I may have gotten a C and been like, "Ah, this is bullshit," but I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there was sometimes one of those kids in class who had the super religious parents that would pull them out during health ed and things like that.
and
Oh, yeah?
Christmas parties.
And yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. So there's always
That's
there
different.
was some resistance, but it wasn't a bandwagon people were jumping on back then.
Ironically, those people were Christian scientists.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Do you
Do
think
they show-
they had a meeting and said, we're against science of any kind, but we need to sound official. So Christian scientists who don't believe in science.
Yeah.
What was their deal? They just had I know there was a Christian science reading room in my town, Coquille. It was always empty. It was like a window to the sidewalk, so you could look in there to see if anyone was doing Christian science. It's
Yeah.
But I never saw any of the Christian
Which
science.
is what, like beakers and tubes and stuff? I mean,
They're just trying to learn how to do it missionary style.
we're gonna stay here all night until you get it right, Reverend.
Pancake that bitch. Yeah, I don't know. Is that even still a religion? I think all them.
I don't know what it is. I think that they're one of the religions that, they don't go to the doctor.
Mhm.
I think they're
Yeah.
faith healers. I
Yeah,
might
like
be wrong
Val
about that.
Kilmer, I think. When I watched that documentary of Val Kilmer, I think, wasn't he one of those?
I don't know.
That would account
Maybe
for
that's
it.
why his throat's all fucked up.
I think
Yeah.
that was one of the
They
things.
were against lozenges.
They had a beef with Loudon.
He's still going, man. Jimmy Carter's still hanging.
Yeah.
That's it's a cool. I mean, they don't do that this celebrity death pool anymore, but there's probably some people who are like, had Carter forever.
He wouldn't even get you any points anymore, would he?
No.
I doubt it, man. He's
That's
already
100.
probably.
When they start getting old, yeah. So, hey, just so you know, it says here, do Christian scientists believe in medicine? Google says the Christian science teaches healing through prayer rather than traditional medicine and medical therapies.
That'll
Mhm.
save you a lot of money.
Yes, they do.
You just go fucking
Not
straight
so
up
much on the
prayer.
science part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you fuck up, it's because somebody was sinning or did,
No one prayed hard enough.
yeah,
Right.
right. You can't, I mean, prayer is supposed to be
Mhm. Yep, it is, sure enough.
percent.
Well-
so
well
if it's
said.
not, then
Well
your
said.
heart,
It's
your
about
heart
like
in it.
prayer.
I
That's
throw out
exactly what Val Kilmer said.
I throw out them prayers and thoughts and prayers pretty flippant. And so you got to really like, you can't just tweet it. You got to think it and you got to feel it in your heart. And then it goes back to your brain and then you tweet it. But if you just tweet it, that's what it's not helping the problem.
Yeah.
Or in theory, it's all bullshit. Wishful thinking is that prayer? Because it doesn't work.
What you got there, Andy?
I'm drinking Mexican Coke.
Oh,
His weekly
Coca-Cola.
Coke.
Although I don't know if it's from Mexico, I'm starting to be suspicious because they have a 4-pack that they has the packaging says Mexico. So how could this be right beside it with no thing on it? But my fucking
Wait, you didn't get the 4-pack.
no, it's a product of Mexico. So no, because it was more. These are 3 for $5. That was like $5.79 right out of the
Four?
gate.
3 for $5, 4 for $5.79.
so why didn't you just keep buying 3?
It's a nice even number. It fit in my hand. I don't involve big
You
carb.
should have bought 6 for 10
Yeah,
Well,
and then sold some more to the people
and-
waiting in line.
well,
instead of
I
8
know, yeah.
for $11.60.
I think one might have been in pesos.
Yeah, well, it's like you go and I'm buying one for a friend.
I heard that the difference between the Mexican Coke and the American Coke no longer exists. That they both use
Probably not.
They're both
the high
fructose.
fructose. Yeah, they're back. That they're now using it, and then that's what's causing Mexico to get as fat as America.
God damn it.
Well, whatever evens them out in soccer.
Oh, we got them beat in soccer right now.
Yeah.
dude. They suck.
Anything we can do to fatten up other countries is we should do it,
Well,
and we should already be doing it. It's
Your-
funny.
your friend and mine, the American farmer, is doing his part.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just not enough.
Well, I mean, TV is a good equalizer too, because everyone sees what's going on up here, then they want to emulate that. Half my commercials are in Spanish, which is good because I'm trying to learn Spanish. But I mean, that market is definitely tuned in to North America lifestyle, and then it's gone over right into their advertising, and then it's advertising to them here.
They don't. I think that like that show, what, the 600-pound sisters or whatever. What about just 300-pound brothers or something? That it's like you shouldn't be turned off to fat at its end stages. You should be turned on by how much more the growth. Here's a 300-pound bro who's eating burgers and pounding fucking cheesecakes and shit.
Like a prequel.
Yeah, like a prequel.
600-pound life.
Yeah, get 2, 3, or a couple brothers, maybe triplets or twins that are just
Oh boy,
committed.
would that be
you could-
awesome?
You could do it like The Bachelor. You could get a 600-pound sister to choose among 20 fatties. And then like at the end of every episode, you give them a triple cheeseburger instead of a rose.
A chocolate rose
What's,
with beads all around it.
Yeah.
You guys
That'd
think
be
this
good.
shit hasn't been pitched already? These fucking pilots exist, man.
That would be a good one though. I would watch 20 fat people.
Yeah. Well, here's an idea on that. The 600-pound sisters on a loan, because they're both fat as fuck. Which one would make it the longest without food? Well, they don't get food. They'd
An
have to kill
hour.
them. They would have to
we
kill
already-
them.
The helicopter wouldn't be able to
They
take
wouldn't
back
get
up.
off the beach. They land on the beach and they go, I'm not walking up there.
The helicopter would be fucked unless they put sandbags on the other side.
The whole crew is on the left side and the
Yeah.
one person is on the right.
I like it. I do the fat show, because it's like, it's like why should we feel bad about it? We should be celebrating it. It's what, Joey Chitwood, just because he ain't fat, He's like our best eater.
Wait.
Wait,
Well,
Joey.
Joey Chitwood is a stunt driver. The Chitwood
right.
brothers were stunt drivers.
All
They would
right,
drive
well,
the
I'm
cars
talking
up on
about that
two
hot
wheels.
dog eating motherfucker.
Joey Chestnut is
Chestnut.
a hot dog champion.
And that other dude, the driver probably pounds the dogs too.
Yeah, I mean, Joey Chitwood would play at the county fair, so he's had a hot dog or two in his day, and probably a funnel cake.
Erickson, how did you know Joey Chitwood?
I
Jesus.
know all about Joey Chitwood. I used to have Joey Chitwood in a reference in one of my jokes.
Okay.
Was it where you had to explain who it was to everybody else? Was that the joke?
The joke was about Jesus coming back and how if he came back now, he'd have to up his game, because if not, he would just be. And then I did like a commercial for the Grundy County Fair coming up this week. It's Alan Jackson, the Joey Chitwood stunt driver. Jesus,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
like a list of all the things at the fair.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hot dog eating.
hot dog eating with Joey Chitwood.
That's who everybody thought it was.
If there was any doubts about his greatness, this year he faced a rain delay. And if you've ever, sat and waited to binge eat,
Wait, who are you talking about? Chitwood or Chestnut?
driver.
Because this is
The driver
Chitwood.
waited. He was rain delayed for 3 hours to binge eat in his car. That's
Dude.
fucking. How about that? Put the Chitwood brothers together. They're driving around and hitting hot dog
Chitwood and
places.
Chestnut hit the road. You can eat hot
Yeah.
dogs while the car's on two wheels.
With the 600-pound sisters in back.
They have to be on one side of the car.
They gotta
Yeah,
keep getting
but that's
hot
why
dog
it's on
places.
2 wheels.
That's the motivation for each sister to lose weight, so that they can, come on, we're not going to beat your sister if you don't lose some goddamn weight.
Yeah.
We're bunch of.
It's been a fun episode so far, you guys.
This is like when we should ask for hey man, if you can help support our podcast, get on the Patreon. Because we do it at the end, and then it's like sometimes people go in and eat a bunch of buffet, and then they'll take off before the bill drops. I think that's what happens. We go at the end of our episode.
So,
People are like, "Oh, I'm full," and it's like when the collection plate comes out at church or whatever. It's like some people got to go to the bathroom right before it comes around.
You don't want to get in the parking lot when everybody's leaving, man.
you got to get out of there. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, well, there you go. That's it.
So did Chestnut win again? Is that what?
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Now he faced a rain delay. I mean, he's just the greatest eater, this culture has to offer. And it's got to be insulting to all those big fat, giving up on everything. And that the only thing they can really do is eat and sit in their chair or whatever. And they can't even, they got to look at this lean fucking guy who.
How does he do it? How does that
Well, he
happen?
bars
You
it
throw
out.
up afterwards?
Oh,
You take
sure.
No,
gigantic-
that would get
Terrible,
you
right?
a lot of
Yeah.
trouble if you fucking purge.
Well, I mean, within a time frame, though, right? I mean, they got to throw up as soon as it's legal.
The
They-
guy
they
that I
must-
follow, Beard Meets Food, I watch him religiously since the pandemic. There's no way he never throws up,
Never, no.
and he jokes about it in that that's not even something in their lexicon.
Yeah, Lance Armstrong joked about blood doping too.
No.
Yeah.
I think
No,
Chitwood's
okay.
a barfer. Either that, do they
But-
weigh his shit? That's the only way you could
Yeah,
tell.
the enema.
Yeah,
He's calling him Chitwood, by the way. Did you catch that?
Yeah.
chestnut.
Chestnut.
Fine.
Yeah, I
It's
got
just
the wrong-
amazing to me that you could eat 62 hot dogs and not die.
And the buns.
Yeah, the bread's what's gonna kill you.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
can't-
that's what
Well,
the-
they
the
left
bread
those
products-
outside during the rain delay, and then just drink that.
Yeah, yeah, they
bread,
pretty much
like,
wet.
you can die. I mean, there's been deaths at these eating contests. One guy died choking, asphyxiated, eating donuts, and another guy died at a pancake eating contest. You got to watch that dough, the bread
Yeah.
work. Yeah, it just
Maybe that's what happened to Bon Scott. Got a hold of some pancakes on his way back.
He was getting wasted with the boys, and then he stopped and got a
He decided to jump in on an impromptu hot dog eating
He had a
contest.
stack of, all you can eat stack of pancakes, and he lost. It was too fucking high to keep track. They checked a lot of times. They blame it on drugs, but it could be, pancakes could be a factor. That guy who's next to Chitwood, Chestnut,
The
guy with the
announcer.
microphone, is,
Yeah, I hate that
he's
guy.
fucking, what the fuck, man? I mean, it's, I don't know. I guess so. I guess people wouldn't show up for an eating contest if it wasn't hyped. If it were just a bunch of fat pigs sitting around King's table or something.
He owns the rights to a bunch of this shit.
Yeah.
His name's George Chaille, and he's the guy behind all this stuff. I think he's also the guy who blocked Kobayashi or whatever from being able to go to compete. That's why I don't like the competition, is because it's basically it's rigged. They won't let Kobayashi in there.
Why not?
Because he won't sign an exclusive deal with this douchebag.
Oh,
Fuck that.
he can eat more hot dogs than
Oh,
Chitwood?
absolutely. Then Chitwood and Chestnut.
And then he could eat. Yeah, he could eat under the.
I mean, they have cops there to pull him out of the audience when he shows up.
He's like Clubber Lang stalking him there. Oh,
I like it when you refer to a guy that can eat hot dogs under the table.
I think when that guy retires from the eating game, whatever it does, we don't ever see that low. He's like Michael Jordan. Once he's gone, we may never see that level of bullshit. To take pride in. I take pride when I see that shit. It's like, there's not much left in America. A couple of soccer things here and there. Yeah. A guy eating more than other, it's a shame the Japanese are have to be sidelined for it, but God damn it, we're watching a run of greatness.
If I had to guess, I would say the winner there looks more ashamed than proud.
Yeah,
on his face. I don't see pride there.
He's got a little bit of a Ron DeSantis kind of fucking hound dog look to him, right?
Yeah, hang dog.
A little bit, hang dog.
I think there is a bit of food fatigue going on at that moment too.
Maybe he just wants a salad, really.
Yeah.
I've seen him. I've seen Joe eat Chitwood or Chestnut. I've seen his eating channel as well. And he has no charisma. There's no chemistry with the camera. He's a schlub. And then they show him eating like 40 Big Macs or something like that. And he's just doing it at his fucking $1 million fucking mansion. Yeah. But he's all that food eating money. But he just really has no, there's nothing about him.
He's empty inside.
Totally. Yeah. And
how is he not 600 pounds?
Well, because they regulate their intake as they'll eat like 500 calories a day or less up until when it's time to get ready for the competition or to the competition. So they definitely know how to stay thin, because they know that the more you eat, the more you have to you have to exercise. You have to do things to work that off. So don't eat a lot going up.
How do you train yourself to not barf then?
You eat stuff like cabbage and lettuce and stuff like that. You eat big things, like large amounts of things that go through you, but that fill up your stomach, but are not gonna like
fucking.
You can't eat hot dogs 62 a day.
A giant bag of celery.
Stuff like that, yeah.
But you'd have to have like a training day where you did eat 62.
Absolutely, he has it on his
to just try and
see. Like a marathon, yeah.
That's exactly it, Chad. He talks about that on his channel. I mean, you'll go to sleep listening to him talk, but it is one of those things where it is rather interesting.
Yeah. And then 3 days later, you have a 62 hot dog shit.
Yeah, oh my God, that's what I'd be worried about.
I wonder if he gets heckled with, "Hey man, you're more interesting when you're eating." Keep shoveling the hot dogs. You've got no point of view.
I was looking at an article last night that was just talking about what happens when you put that volume of like hot dogs and bread in your system, and your body's just reacting as if you or I sat down at fucking Golden Corral. It doesn't know that it's on TV and it's for the championship. Your body goes into a thing where it just starts dumping insulin into your fucking system because it's trying to like break down all that shit because it's going, whoa, okay, all right, yeah, we'll just keep going here. But it's insane that there's not like deaths every year for this thing.
It seems like you have to have a few Heimlich maneuvers every year, right? I would think that there'd be, you know, like if you're pushing your limit, you know.
Beware the eating contest that doesn't have an EMT parked on the side. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
The human body's pretty remarkable, though, how much fucking abuse it can take. Because even at my last physical, like my doctor, she was kind of a cunt about it even, but she's really cool. But like, she was like, because I'm so out of shape and unhealthy habits, you know, and she's like, I really like looked, I did a lot of stuff to try to find something. You're really healthy. Like she was really snobby about like how healthy I was. Like she was
all pissed off.
Yeah.
God
like fuck you gross
fucking good
fucker.
news.
Yeah.
Checked everything and I can't believe these numbers.
Yeah.
Everything's good.
You should be dead, you gross fuck.
Well, you don't smoke cigarettes. That's a big thing. That would make you more unhealthy.
Sure.
You did.
And you were
built
bigger.
like you, and you had your lifestyle. If you added a pack of cigarettes a day onto that, your enjoyment of life would be a lot different.
Well, you lugged around Chad Shank from the pictures I saw, the Killer Termite Day. You were much bigger then, right? Like,
I don't know.
You look big in that picture anyway. I was like,
yeah,
how
I'm
big,
pretty
dude?
gross.
How are you still here, man? I went and checked I still have a hanging rope. It's accessible. I was having a bad day and I was like feeling nostalgic and I was like, oh yeah, I still got a hanging rope up there. It's like a comfort, you know. It's like an old friend. It's too high.
Always there, just in case.
I feel like now that, you know, with all this so-called science, that the branch would snap off with my weight. Just because the tree's too dry. Because I snapped some off a few years ago. So I imagine, you know, it hasn't improved. So I'd have to do a test run. That'd be exhausting.
Dude, you already have to wait a little bit longer before you use your suicide rope, after everybody stuck by your side through your
I can't. I mean, and the rope,
you're gonna have to wait just out of you know,
it would have to be really look like an accident.
you fell into a
pruning tool wrapped around my hand.
1 in a million, Doc. How his head went right into that fucking noose.
A list of things to do, you know, prune the tree, you know, cut the grass, like other shit. Like, you know, nobody would think you were like killed yourself if you had a to-do list and you were only number one.
Stick it in your upper pocket.
Yeah, go grocery shopping.
Cut that depressing noose down out of the tree.
Yeah. Number 5, don't kill self.
Yeah.
Right here. Who's happy?
We watched that Man Called Otto on Netflix the other day, and I had listened to the Man Called Uva, the audiobook.
The same.
It's pretty good.
Everybody says it's a cry movie.
The book definitely did. If I didn't listen to the audiobook and then just watch the movie, I probably wouldn't have cried. But I cried watching the movie, thinking about the book, I think. So
there's levels to it, bro. There's levels to it.
But it was when I was listening to the book, especially, I just kept thinking, because he keeps getting, not spoiler alert, he keeps getting interrupted trying to kill himself, and I kept getting mad, like, would you motherfuckers let this guy kill himself?
Was this the Tom Hanks movie that's out?
Yeah.
I would have liked to see Tom Hanks kill himself as Colonel Parker.
That was in the Elvis.
I guess probably
that would have been a better joke if you would have come up with a better Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Castaway. That would have been a good
Philadelphia.
suicide.
hilarious, but maybe problematic.
I like most
Forrest
Tom Hanks
Gump.
movies.
The
I've
Forrest
seen.
Gump suicide would have been pretty funny.
Mm.
He just runs off a
Mm.
pier.
He did. You know what? I just saw part of that the other day, and when he jumped off the boat to go see Lieutenant Dan, he jumps in the fucking water, and then his boat crashes. That could have been the end of Gump Enterprises right there.
Yeah.
What a fucking and would you want to crew up with somebody who is retarded who just jumped off of a movie?
You are just now in 2023 finding some of the plot holes in Forrest Gump.
Yeah, man. The fuck.
I don't think you could run all the way across the country.
How about you wave
I
your
mean-
buddy and you
Some of
put
these-
that boat in slow motion?
Some of these timelines don't line up. Here.
I don't think he could have.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
I haven't Googled that, but there probably are some problem areas with the Gump. And I'm glad they didn't do 2 because that would have created more problems. But yeah, I don't know. Could he have done all that shit? And when that whole thing. Do you have a credit card? How do you get new clothes? And when I went, I need to go bathroom. Well, okay, do you take a dump on the road? Well, I don't know. I mean, I would that would be cool to hear how Forrest Gump pulled off some of that shit. But
Like
it's
the Forrest Gump podcast where he talked about how he did it.
Oh my God.
I play ping pong.
I mean, there are guys or gals who have done that where they've set off to run across America and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
they got a usually support vehicle.
Yeah, they got
But you need something. I mean, you just can't sleep under a bush when you're tired after running or jogging
You
for.
need a lot of calories. Where was
Yeah.
Gump getting? Was he eating hot dogs on the side of the
62
road?
hot dogs a day, and then he'd just
Yeah.
take off.
He was jogging from one eating competition to the next. I mean, it's a weird logistics thing, but if you get it just
Yeah.
right, you got to start
Yeah.
early before the county fairs start up.
I have to be
Yeah.
to Phoenix by the 20th. Yeah. So it was fucking crazy crazy. That
Yeah.
he still was in the shrimping business.
So I was just trying to look
There's
it
just
up.
no good. There's no holiday movies. What's that?
There
Gum
was-
problems?
There was one guy that did. Not only did he go across it, that I read the book one time. 3 steps, 1 bow. There was a Buddhist that went 1,100 miles. He didn't just walk; he took 3 steps and then prostrated himself all the way on the ground.
Jesus.
Got up, took 3 steps, got all the way on the ground, 3 steps for
Oh.
1,100 miles.
Man. The problem with something like that is that there is no God.
That's. I think that
Well-
may have been what his end result was at the end. And
It's like,
fuck.
What was the
Oh,
purpose of
no.
that? I get the 3 steps because you're going from point A to point B, but what's the bow every 3 steps?
I think it
Gratitude or
was like
something?
I think it was for peace or something.
meditate. It's a
Like
meditation
yeah,
and an honor thing to,
Ugh.
a journey for world
I know,
peace.
Chaille. I mean,
Yeah.
monks, right?
There was a
Ugh.
guy, I don't know the specifics of this. There's a guy who was going to kick a soccer ball from, I think, up in Seattle area all the way to Mexico and raise
In
money.
one kick?
Well, a series of kicks. I think it was gonna,
Gotta put it up on top of Mount St. Helens.
Yeah.
Nice run up.
it didn't matter because he didn't even get out of the state of Washington before he was run over. But isn't, so I don't know if he still raised.
Got run over?
Yeah, he got hit by a car, clip side of the road. Somebody's like, "Is that a soccer ball?" Probably. That probably happens a lot, though. Those, you don't read those books. They're
Friends not
chapter
informing
1.
people that they have a dumb idea. Yeah, that
Yeah,
happens all
chapter
the
1.
time.
I don't know how this journey ends, but I'm starting on the side of the road today. That's it. That's finished. That's the manuscript. Day 1. See how this goes. But yeah, so get soccer balls and send them to Mexico because he didn't make it.
Was that the message?
Well, I don't
Did
know.
a soccer ball? That's why he was
went-
He needed soccer
Yeah.
balls in Mexico.
There's plenty.
When
Specifically
you got a
this
thing,
one.
you know, but that's a, well, I know there was a inspirational one that I don't know if my church or whatever, but we went out, my mom and me and probably brother, and met this girl who was running somewhere from something with a span to raise awareness about something. I can't
She
remember.
was in Coquille, Oregon. She was probably
She's-
running
we
from one of your
drove- We
teachers.
drove over to, you know, to meet up with her. It was an inspirational story that somehow made it to my mom's ears.
Uh-huh.
We went out there and hung out with her, bummed her out. Like, we got nothing to add to this.
It motivated her to keep running.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say, what an inspiration you were. He's like, you know what? I will take off.
You're right. I gotta get going.
I remember her name was Mary, but I forget what Mary was running for. She had something wrong with her, like diabetes or some shit, you know. Back
There was
then,
that- who was that guy? You guys are probably Terry Fox. Didn't he run across Canada?
There was a guy that ran across Canada on one leg.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
when you get a
He
poker,
had a second leg, it just wasn't his.
Yeah,
It wasn't hopping.
custom.
yeah, that kind of shit, you know, they say it's like, you know, it's their own, but it's just to make everybody else feel bad. You know, why would you do that? You got one leg. I'm going to go all the way across Canada just so when kids complain about having to clean their room, they go, oh, Terry Fox. Terry Fox didn't feel that way when he lost his fucking leg and he still had to get across Canada. You can't just get a bus ticket for that shit. You gotta leg it out, man.
Yeah.
You know, other than that, you know, so put yourself, bow everything. Fuck you, you know, you're just shaming people. I can't finish this marathon. Well, what about the dude who bowed he took 3 steps and
I mean,
bowed?
that's the thing, is like, it's still a really good thing. I mean, like that's an accomplishment to go 1,100 miles without the bow. You throw
Mhm.
that bow in
Oh,
there and
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah, man, that must add on.
Yeah, the bow is just him being disciplined in his
Sure.
you know, his religion, you know, his
He's just
pursuit
doing it to
of-
make the
I think
600-pound
pursuit of-
sisters feel like they should get off Diet Colas.
Squats. I think it was an homage to his teacher who did something similar. I don't
imagine
remember.
though,
It was a
yeah.
long time ago when I read that.
Would people do inspiring shit if nobody gave a fuck, though?
I think monks would,
Monks, maybe.
Yeah, they
That's
do
the
it all the
idea.
time.
but hopefully that monk did that a long time ago, because how pissed off would you be if you went 1,100 miles across Canada, taking 3 steps and bowing for fucking months as a tribute to the, you know, holy Buddhist religion and the Dalai Lama, and then you turn on the TV and he's kissing a fucking 12-year-old boy. You're like, oh, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fuck
This
you.
guy.
God damn it.
I always fall for this.
Yeah.
I think he went from San Francisco to Seattle, and then I think he was an American monk. I think he ended up being like at Berkeley or something. He was like a
Mhm.
that kind of monk.
Oh, so he was going for the attention. He was probably trying to get some hippie pussy.
Oh,
He's,
man.
yeah,
Putting
he's
your
like a hippie monk. Yeah.
ass in the air in Frisco, that was on everybody's set list back in the day. Yes.
All right, here's a little here's a synopsis of what this is going on. American, I don't know this pronunciation. Bishkuns Hangju and Hangyo.
That's right.
So, oh, thank you.
Andy
Lucky
knows.
guess.
Andy knows
Uh,
that one. He never
very-
mispronounces
Yeah.
Hangzhou and Hangzhou.
So during 73 and 74, they made a pilgrimage for world peace from the Gold Mountain Monastery in San Francisco to Marble Mount, Washington, bowing once every 3 steps. The pilgrimage was inspired by monks in ancient China who would bow every 3rd step for thousands of miles to a famous monastery or a renowned teacher.
Also inspired Leonard Skinner's song about "Give me 3 steps,"
Steps.
because he was actually trying to pick up pussy from a
Yeah, but
monk.
he was trying to get out of there.
Man,
Yeah, the monk-
just
He
fuck
just wanted to-
somebody's old lady.
Yeah, he just wanted a 3-step head start. That's all Leonard Skinner wanted.
And he ducked, and that's when the shot was fired.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, it would have been in a different song.
That's right.
Here's a better picture. Let's see if we can get in this one here. This
Looks
was
like
great.
Bono's
They had a little supply cart that they would.
And that guy had to bow too?
Do
Yeah,
you
both
know
of
what?
them.
It's
They both
coming
did.
back. I'm pretty sure one of the guys' name was Hung Sure.
Really?
I think so.
You'd have to be to act like that. That guy's pretty hung sure, huh?
I remember thinking it was funny.
Well, yeah. How did that world peace work out for you, fellas? Suckers.
Oh, it's still it's like
You don't
communists.
know.
There's no time limit.
You don't know, Andy. You don't know how
Yeah.
many wars this guy stopped. There
It
could have
could be in
been
play right now.
could have been myriad more wars, but they
That's
didn't
true.
happen because of the awareness.
Yeah, there was a when did these guys do that? Because there was a war.
Oh, 73, 74. We got right out of Vietnam right after that.
Boom.
Yeah. Huh.
Good
Okay.
job, fellas.
Well, maybe we need to get a couple of more of these fellers. Maybe how about this? This would inspire America. What if we got the 600-pound sisters to go 3 steps and then we crimp them? We have to bring them down every 3 steps like a small elephant, drag them down and then let them back up at 3 steps. Yeah, that ain't gonna inspire America. What if?
I think you'd have to stop at what if we got the 600-pound sisters to go 3 steps,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah.
That's as far as you're gonna get.
What I mean, 3 steps and then bowing onto the ground like that in prayer. I mean, that really is some kind of fucking commitment. Because
Yeah.
if you even did that for an hour, you would be like, first of all,
I'd be at Albertsons all pissed off.
well, first of all, you would be cut because getting down and getting back up that many times
Mhm.
is gonna fucking build your core. Those guys were probably ripped. When they got to Berkeley, they probably got all kinds of hippie.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Probably fucking, were asked to model their assholes around town.
When I first read about this, I remember trying it and checking it out, because I was like, what?
Sort of like, was it Breaking Bad when the twin brothers, they crawled.
Yeah.
That was, I had to check that thing out as an actual, they do actually do that.
That wasn't a true story, Andy. Breaking Bad. That was a
Well, I mean that does happen in families. I mean, I'm not crawling for any of my brothers, let alone a cousin or whatever. They did.
I'll bet you these monks after a while, at night, no one's around. They're like, let's do 4 steps. I'm not telling anybody.
Yeah.
I'll race you to that telephone pole.
We were up here already.
And if you get to one of them walkways at the airport, does that count? You just get down there, 1, 2, and then
Yeah.
put your head down and then
Just
you're
hit the ground
50. That's maybe why there's 2 of them, so they can do, nobody's gonna believe you. Well,
What,
you did
What-
that. So
what do you mean? One guy bows and the other guy sprints?
well, now it's 2
and
people.
then
if
he
they don't
bows
do it,
and he sprints up to catch up.
right? What do we call that? Was probably racist. Geronimo. That you ever do
What?
that? It's like you'd run. It's a line of people
Oh yeah.
running, and when you're at the end, then you run to the front, and
Yeah.
yell Geronimo or
That is
something racist.
racist. We didn't
Black-
call it Geronimo. We
blackface.
just straight up called it an Indian run
Uh-huh.
for some
Wow.
reason. But
Yeah.
that was like a sports,
Oh.
that was like the end of practice thing we would do where it was like,
And then
wind sprints and shit.
and then
Call them
afterwards,
that in the army, and we use
Really?
telephone poles. That's why I used the telephone pole example earlier.
did you drink yourself into poverty after the runs? Huh? So it's no matter what you called it, it somehow, and it's it's one of those moments where you're doing it and you're not thinking negative about the American Indians, but there wasn't enough of that. That one was actually, even though it was probably racist. What the fuck? Oh, that's a
That's little
nipper.
That's little Puck Potter right there having a moment.
Air conditioning.
ferret.
moment, huh?
Little fucking weirdo.
He's a type of dog that no matter how many times I just remember him biting.
He's a biter.
Yeah, he's a it's like just like Sean Rouse. You never put
he's
it
a
out of your
little
mind
Sean Rouse.
completely that
He doesn't get around very well, and if you get too close, he'll bite your ass for no reason. Just out
Maybe
of the
that dog-
You're like, what? I thought we were friends.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why I bit you.
Will he piss in your couch?
He hasn't yet, but there's still time. He definitely shits all over the yard.
and his hands don't work.
He can't pick up things for shit.
I bet Chaille's doing the concrete man at work.
Yeah,
Not
Chaille
doing
had
it.
an appointment, a concrete appointment.
Not doing. I made it sound crass. No, it's not like a porno being made.
He's doing the concrete man.
Yeah, we'll dump it. Where do you want us to dump the slop?
Ding. Ding dong.
Clean out your bucket.
Hey, I got a couple of extra concretes here. Come on in.
You got to move fast, right? In the heat.
I got to see the layout of the place the other day. It looks
Yeah?
really cool over there, man. Yeah.
I hope they're building underground for the future.
I didn't get to see it if they are.
Yeah.
Which
Oh
would
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. You don't show people you're under.
Yeah, no, it's an underground tunnel
Yeah.
that goes to Michael Bean's. And they just head to LA or whatever.
That would be appropriate.
Yeah. Well, I saw that they're building, they're thinking about like why build $1 billion or $1 million home and not have some fucking underground living quarters for the future. That pesky science or whatever catches up. Oh, but that pesky science. Be cool
Yeah,
to
you're
see
probably
it.
right. You probably should build down into the ground. It stays nice and cool down there.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
Andy might have just outed Stanhope's goddamn plan on the podcast.
Oh man.
Nobody watches this.
Yeah. The internet.
Because it's taken so long to build the goddamn little tiny goddamn house over there.
Right.
It's the only thing that makes sense now. Now you got me.
Well, let's
thinking.
just I'm going to suggest that Doug will have no trouble finding help. Maybe the tunnel goes over to Mexico.
Well, unfortunately, it's just shitty contractors in Bisbee, so it's just taking that long to
Yeah, he's
build
got
Stanhope's
if he is building a bunker underneath his house, he's got the perfect cover story, and that is he's doing it in Bisbee.
Yeah. What if you just like found a tunnel under there, and then you find that the tunnel leads to one place, and then it's a fucking Kenny's. Doug's not around to explain it. Like, why was there a tunnel to Kenny's house?
It accidentally taps into Kenny's already building it. Oh shit!
So Kenny did compete in this year's. I know they do the Bisbee. What do they call those go-karts? They race down the hill.
Those soapbox races.
Has that ever been any of the folks do enter?
I've never been to it because it's like it's really congested over there in those winding roads. Everybody's jammed up against each other, and
Yeah.
so I've never been, but it looks cool.
Yeah, I would like to see it. Health. I mean, they go. Do they crash?
It's quite a fucking hill.
I
Yeah.
believe there's been one fatality in the
Oh, really?
history
So it's-
of the thing. Chaille would know better. I wish she was done.
The
doing
concrete guy.
concrete
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's.
It
I
won't
mean,
be
it
long
does
before
look
the
like
concrete guys dumped his slop, and Chaille will be back.
it just It's tailpipe will be.
You're mixing your
It's a-
metaphors right
I'm
now.
trying. Well,
There's no
pride-
tailpipe in concrete, Andrew.
I'm trying to make it a pride year, not just be like, hey man, I'm pro, whatever. I try to watch more titles of I mainly watch lesbian porn. So that's not gonna change. And other than there's dude, threatening the pride thing here in my hometown
Oh, really?
with a gun. Some kid
Wow.
on a bike just kind of broke his libertarian bullshit down or whatever. That's why it was a clip or whatever.
Mhm.
But I mean, It's like that shit gets attacked everywhere, and it's like fucking, I'm gonna put rainbow glitter on my white pants and wear them around more this year.
Fuck yeah, good for you.
I don't know. It sounds good, but I don't know if you can. I mean, but if I could be offensively gay, I would like to, if I want people to look at me and just go, that fucking queer, or what, like a libertarian dude who's there to harass people, and he sees me and just goes, what a fucking queer. That would
Not
make
even worth it.
I don't think I can, I don't have the clothes for, I
know that shirt
cut-
is a decent start.
yeah, I cut some pants. I got some jeans, I guess, it's a matter of how you wear them.
Yeah,
Anything
cut
can
'em
be
right.
pretty cool.
Cut the ass out of them.
yeah.
Right. Yeah, like he's subtly gay on the Righteous Gemstones, but Keith, the character who's not gay, the youth minister, but something like he wears would, I would stand,
Talking about the brother-in-law.
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, not the brother-in-law, the well, it's not even the boyfriend, but Adam Devine's friend.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Long-haired dude.
The Satanist.
Theo or
gay.
something, Theon.
He's not gay. They're not gay.
He's the reformed Satanist.
Yeah.
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 Hey guys, my concrete guy showed up way early, so
Oh,
I gotta keep talking to him. So
All right. Okay. Yeah. We'll put them Buddhists back up there, man.
Can't believe the concrete guy disrespects the
I know
podcast.
we got all week for all these other projects. All right,
What's
hang
concrete
on,
guy doing every other fucking hour of the day?
I got a
Nothing.
water. Well,
Really
concrete
likes a
guy is
premature
probably
concrete guy.
concrete guys, and they're probably, you don't want to roll your mud out early in the day here, right, Bisbee?
Not
hot.
pouring concrete tonight.
I'm not an expert, but I would. Oh, really? Then what's he
I
doing?
mean, I don't think so. Are they?
I think that's what they're doing right
Really?
now.
Yeah, you want to pour your slab there when it's going to cool off a little.
I think they're pouring
Didn't
a
you watch the
slab.
McConaughey thing?
No.
It's all
Was
explained,
McConaughey
man.
pouring slabs?
You pour yeah, man.
You
Whatever
gotta set your
metaphor,
forms, man.
whatever metaphor you want to use.
Otherwise, your mud's just gonna sling all over.
I wonder how that road trip's working out for all those people.
Killing it, dude.
I
Oh,
still
man.
get
Refund
invites.
City.
At the time, I felt like I was going to have to make some practical choices about what was most important to me, but I didn't make that choice. And then he keeps sending me second and third chances. It's like,
Dude, you can still get in on it, man.
I
You
can still
live.
take that road trip, maybe not at the same time, but maybe, we all arrived there.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's all
hey,
about
man, we're all here. Well, cool. The planet's dying.
it's all about living, bro.
LIVIN. See, he's taken something that was written for him in a movie.
I know we went over this.
I know.
He improvised it.
I know. Trying not to get political here.
Man,
Huh.
yeah.
I had something I had a complaint today, but I forgot it. I got a little of this crumble, the crumble product, Chad.
Cookie?
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
the
that on
weed?
top of my weed. So it's like, it's like my to-do list or whatever. I was like, had one thing on it. I can't remember it now.
Yeah, that stuff will do that.
That's good weed.
Yeah, well, that's why they call it crumble, because that's what happens to your ideas.
Your plans.
Your plans. You
Man,
got any
it's-
plans?
Yeah, I'm
Got
driving.
plans?
I'm
Crumble.
driving a crumble cookie now.
That's what I thought you were talking about.
Crumble cookie?
Yeah.
It's just really a bigger cookie. That's all it is, man.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all right.
That's America. That's what one of those businesses. Like everybody makes and sells cookies. A lot of people do, but like, let's make this an American thing and make them a little bit fucking bigger.
Well, yeah. We're like, look, what if all these cookies were just one big cookie? Same deal,
If you eat
Why
like,
not?
I wish I'd do weed cookies like a big weed cookie like that.
You know,
You would eat the whole thing.
I
you'd
know.
be
I
so
had that
fucking high,
happen. I did
you'd
that
fall into your noose.
that was what happened to me in Hollywood. I had years ago, I had a connection who had AIDS, full blown
Why
AIDS.
is that? Why is that funny?
Well, he had the AIDS card, so he could get weed. It was before it was or before it was, recreational.
Early on, that was one of the few ways you could get medicinal. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So many guys were trying to get AIDS.
Oh man, yeah. I was thinking about, I was like, how'd you get it, man? Show me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get AIDS, but I am getting fucked in the ass anyway. So if I do get it,
Yeah, just
it won't be all bad.
I mean, wear that hat. I was saying I'm trying to bring the Hanks thing back that we had, so he would get from like this medical Hollywood distribution. It was real rare, to get edibles back, especially for me back in those days. And these were like he'd get in the store, but only Wild West days and shit. And I ate a cookie that was like, it said like to eat. I think it was like real small pieces, It said maybe like eat 1/4 at a time, and I ate all of it at one time before I even noticed the sticker that said for staff only. It was a peanut butter cookie, but it was green, so it was that much weed. That's what you should be able to, let's open that up, Crumble. Have that cookie, the fucking Disneyland.
I think you can do that now.
AIDS cookie.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
sure
you
there
gotta
are
make it
dispensaries
yourself.
around you that have that.
No, not. I mean, really, they're they
No?
don't want. That's one. I mean, some states maybe have better edibles than Oregon, but ours are pretty. You got to eat a lot of gummies to get any kind of.
Oh no, they have in California. You could get
Yours are
100
they're better in
milligram.
California.
you can get 100
Arizona's
milligram or
better.
200 milligram cookies or brownies. I think.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Edibles I take edibles to go to sleep for the most part because they
Mhm.
knock me the fuck out. I guess maybe I'm sensitive to them. Even like my first experience with edibles is when I just learned how to make my own butter and then
Mhm.
made, brownies. And then I didn't know anything about what to do. So then I was stoned, smoked a joint, and then I fucking was like brownie. So I ate a big gigantic hunk of it. And then I was way fucked up. And then I had the munchies. So I ate another big hunk of it. And then I slept for about 19 hours.
Yeah, that's a better drug, man.
And I realized right away, it's like my standard answer people offer me edibles if I'm away. It's like, I don't take edibles unless I'm 8 feet away from my bed or my couch.
Right.
So
So think about like all the bars and stuff that you feed your alcohol and then you want to participate more in that shit that eventually is stupid anyway or whatever. But if you just get fucking edible and you eat that at the bar, eventually you lose interest in all the stupid shit because you're not a part of it. I would have probably had a little better liver. Maybe, but right, like I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
it's
not
just
like
you
a
don't have the
social-
momentum. You don't give a fuck about
It's
the
not.
drunk.
It's not a social experience. You eat an edible. It's like if you're
It's like
drinking,
dosing yourself out of being a part of the
right,
other group.
right.
I've got some 50 milligram chocolates in here and I still have them because I got shit I want to do tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if I eat them, I'll sleep well, but then I'll also not really want to do shit tomorrow morning.
See, I get so fucking high when I smoke that I can't do it. I get fucking scared and anxious. The weed Mitchell smokes is ridiculous. Same shit you guys smoke. I can't. One hit and I'm so fucking high I get nervous. But I could do a 50 milligram edible and I'll be high as fuck. But it comes on to me so slowly that it doesn't give me that fucking
Mhm.
paranoia that when if I smoke it, I get high so fast that I'm like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. And that doesn't happen to me on edibles. That's why I like them.
Yeah, it's that's why I'd probably do way more just edibles if I could get them. Like, I'll just maybe make my own, but like like I don't want to eat necessarily a treat. I don't like. I'd rather eat a fucking cracker with hummus and be high than to eat a cookie or have a jelly bean or some shit. I was like, you know, just make all food with weed. Just fuck it. You know. What's that, Chad?
These are them.
Uh-huh.
They're
See,
like Rice
Chad's
Krispie chocolate.
Chad's living the fuck yeah.
Take
That's
one
what I
right
need
now.
around here. I need
Those are 50s, but if
I-
I eat it, I'll be down.
I did one time eat I had 100 milligram lollipop, and I thought, well, this is going to be slow because it's going to take me a while to eat it, right? You know, like it's the perfect
woodsy
thing.
out
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But it doesn't take you as long to eat a lollipop as you think it's going to. So it still basically all hits you at the same time. And then this is when we lived in LA, and we were home and we were gonna watch, this is terrible, but we were gonna watch this documentary called The Devil You Know, which is a
Daniel
brutal
Johnson?
documentary
No.
about DuPont and all the chemicals that they were, when they were making Teflon, all the fucking chemicals they were, you know, dumping into the river, and these women who worked at DuPont were fucking stirring big vats of this shit, breathing in the fumes. And then this, you know, they were all having babies with birth defects, and they showed this baby, and it was like a fucking Picasso, you know, and I fucking had like a panic attack over it, and I was like, you know, Carrie, we have to stop watching this. I can't, you know, I was like curled up on the couch in the fetal position. I was scared. Like it fucked me up.
That's
I
how it
couldn't handle
probably.
it.
Yeah.
I felt bad because later we watched the documentary, and the baby that scared me so much is basically the hero of the fucking documentary and a goddamn inspiration. Talk about an inspiration, fucking, you know, hiking across Canada with one leg. This fucking kid grew up all fucked up from these chemicals that he was, you know, born fucked up, and then lived a great life and fucking fought hard to fucking take DuPont down and try to get some justice from them, and like this whole thing.
And that's the family that also had the wrestling thing, right? The fox catcher. It was a DuPont family member who
man,
opened a
maybe it was
wrestling,
DuPont.
like using the money, you know.
Yeah. I think they were into that. I think that was them.
There's almost no reason to be connected to the wrestling world, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, that was like
They've
that's not the, you know, entertainment wrestling world. The, you know, the
like, you know, if you want a bunch of if you want to open I mean, I saw a bus the other day that it was like a wrestling academy. It's like, Jesus, could there be any more red flags? It mentioned religion. It meant, you know, it's a private camp. So, you know, I'm sure they just like, get a few dudes and put them in their outfits and drive around to a camp area and throw down mats. It's really, really sketchy, you know.
Yeah, that sounds gross.
But yeah, I mean, roadside recruiting of wrestlers.
Yeah, imagine finding out you wanted to be a wrestler because a bus went by. You're like, you know what? That is for me.
And they give you advice on alcohol and drugs, like which ones go good with poppers. But I did not call the number. I'm not looking for camp this year.
Good. Yeah, stay out of camp.
I did I got tell Ggreg this, but I'm accepted onto Cameo. I haven't done the legwork yet, but they finally accepted me. So, but I was thinking,
we're making plays.
If people want, you know, like, wouldn't this be better? It's just send me a plane ticket and I'll show up at your birthday party and do a real cameo.
I don't know that people want you actually there, Andy. I think,
but I could get snacks and have some drugs.
You know, well, and you could just record a message into your phone and send it to them and keep all of the money instead of
could do that.
Oh, but I mean, no, but I mean, like, I'm talking higher, you know, like I want to be like I want to be Clarence Thomas I'll show up and I'll use my influence.
You want a Harlan Crow billionaire benefactor That's
Yeah, like go, hey, I need a cameo, and then I get paid, and then I show up in Belize or some, and then like,
You
hey
think that's
man,
where it's gonna
just
be?
go.
You think that's where the issues with Andy Andrist fans are? Believe.
Well, it's an
That's-
international podcast, so right
Well,
now,
You know,
speaking
last
of,
You're gonna be in fucking Beloit.
well, Beloit's pretty
couple-
cool too, man.
a couple of weeks ago, Erickson thought people would like to see him airing out his balls on the fan. So I don't know who you guys
That's
think
true.
you're
Yeah,
watching
you're
this podcast.
I could do
You're
3
right.
steps and then air
Fair
my
enough.
anus into the tropical sun. I hear the anus sunlight in your anus is all the rage of the men's men.
That's a good point, Andy. That would actually be, to me, that would be a less ridiculous thing to
Oh.
do. Take 3 steps and then lay on your back, spread your legs, and let the sun shine in on your asshole.
I
And
know there's a lot of
up.
wacky bullshit going on in this world of science and Christianity and bullshit, slinging books or whatever, but that did make sense to me. It's like, man, I feel like my anus could use a little more light.
Yeah, absolutely. Get down there.
What if it's been trying to read something all these years?
You don't read, but your asshole does?
Yeah, and how could that be bad to have a beam of light centered on your asshole? But the whole process of it is messy.
Well, to your neighbors, maybe not to
Right,
you.
right. Yeah, they open their blinds at 11:45. And you're receiving your sun.
Yeah.
How
It's
it
good
goes.
for you though. It's good to get sun onto your skin, especially parts of your skin that have never seen it.
I go around. I walk shirtless for like an hour or so, and in front of neighbors. But I wear a hat and then I look away. I don't want them to recognize. I don't care what, they may go, oh, look at that fucking dumpy old man body or whatever, but they're not going to be able to place it to a face. So I'm getting my sun, getting a little exercise.
So you think that they think it's just some anonymous old guy. You think that they don't know it's you?
Well, there's not that much traffic or whatever, but it's like, I'd rather not, I'm not like, hey, I'm not owning it. I just, I'm doing it to like multitask. I want to get sun and I need to exercise. So I just
Right.
combine them. I mean,
And you'd look like a fucking
Fucking-
maniac if you were walking around in circles in your
I
yard. with
felt
your
like nobody'd
clothes
make a fuss. I'd have my dick out over a loincloth. I mean, I would do that if everybody was just like cool, because I don't, but I'd still want to hide my face, just have a dot from my ass and a dot from, just kind of the taint from Naked and Afraid. They don't want to show your asshole or your taint. Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't watch that show.
Never seen it.
Sunning your
Like that's bad.
perineum
Well,
is a
I mean,
thing, though. That is a thing.
We're
People
glad
do.
you haven't been here to show us pictures. So we had
Yeah.
birth
Yeah, you missed
defects
some
and
good
that
opportunities for picture shows.
sunshine up an asshole.
Well, I could probably do it when I re-edit or when I edit.
Mhm.
I have
Yeah.
to go through it so I can at least figure out. I'll get a timestamp.
Sunshine in the old asshole. That's,
Now it's my turn to step away. I have to make a drink.
Yeah, sorry about that. The guy, he's a guy that has a regular job and he's gonna pour some concrete for me, and I kind of had to just meet him whenever.
Oh, man.
And this was still an hour and a half earlier than he said he was gonna be. So
This is when you need a dead animal, like like if Meatwig just died, you could put it in the foundation of the house.
w-
Well, I mean, like if you were
why would I want to do that?
I mean, just as a burial, it would be like,
You don't have to dig a hole.
yeah. I mean,
We have a perfectly good pet cemetery up
I
at
know.
Doug's place.
Yeah, true. But I mean, it would be cool to just like cement one. I don't know. I'm not, you only have the one cat. So
Yeah, that's it. And he was just staying here because Doug and Bingo had a friend. AJ was here.
mhm.
I don't know if Andy, you know who that is,
Yeah, I remember AJ.
but they brought a dog and didn't tell anyone they were bringing a dog.
Oh,
So Meatwig was all out of sorts living in, because Meatwig's
Yeah,
a
Meatwig.
indoor cat now. So Meatwig comes over here and everything's fine except for the day that he threw up all over my bed.
Oh man.
Other than that, he was a good house guest.
Yeah. Fucking meatwig. He's what, like 12,
16
13,
16 years
16.
old.
Holy shit, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Defying the odds right there. He
Yeah.
got didn't he get a comb out a few years ago? That probably saved him a year.
Yeah, he's got a bionic hip, and his
Wow.
since he's an indoor cat now, his coat is completely fine. But yeah, he used to just be basically a tumbleweed with legs.
Uh-huh. Cats do not I don't know. That's like well, my daughter sent me a thing. My dog may live, in a few more years. I'm like already signing off on it and looking at it like it's a goner and whatever. And it's like, fuck, I may have her. I mean, I don't want to do this for 3 years. So I'm just like ignoring the fact she looks like a dead lady walking.
Did she get up and down on the couch and stuff? Or is this a thing where you're like having to buy harnesses and diapers?
No, she doesn't. She hadn't been able to do that. We count. No, not that. I mean, I think that'd be I don't know. That'd be a tough time if she needed.
Why do you think she's gonna live so much longer? What did your
Well,
daughter
just
tell you?
the border collies, I was like, well, she's kind of at the end game for border collies, and they can live, to be 16 or so. She's like 12, she'll be 12 in September if
She's only 11?
yeah, but it's a big fat tumor,
She might go for a couple more years.
I know. It's like
I think my dog's 11.
Yeah, it's not
Maybe
even-
Chad needs to make a house visit with a package of meat and a special holster.
yeah. Well, it's like you give them there's no time to say goodbye to your dog that works, but it's like I can't imagine it being another 2 years from now. Like I've already kind of emotionally signed off and thought about what I'd say.
You thought it was going to happen while you were in
I know, yeah.
I thought this dog was like 15.
She's no, but she hasn't taken care of herself.
all those Mexican colas.
I don't know.
Yeah.
She got fat. That was out of my control.
Oh, she got fat.
Uh-huh.
She was stopping at Burger King too much.
She was
Is that what it
sneaking.
was?
Well, she was routinely sneaking cat food, but I don't know,
Sneaking
man.
it.
I think she just got hit, yeah, I know. Like
There has to be an access in here because the cat, the dog can't go get cat food and sneak it, hiding it under its
there
blanket.
was actually there
Has this been happening the whole time?
there was when it turned for her. I mean, like the neighbor dog savagely attacked her, and she never quite recovered her equilibrium after that, and she gained weight after that. So I think it took her out of her, being the dog she could be now, and that's the neighbor that I ended up costing him a lot of money on his real estate. So he was an asshole, and I'm glad just through the course of things that I caused him financial damages by just doing what I was going to do anyway.
Well, I'm excited that your dog, is it Riley?
Yeah, Riley.
Riley's only 11. I think Riley's gonna Jimmy Carter you, boy.
Oh man, fuck.
She's gonna be around.
Huh. Yeah. I mean,
That was a telling.
I was already kind of like, yeah. Maybe I'll take her swimming.
Yeah. Next week, Andy will be like, well, she got hit by the.
I could
post
take her out
office
to the glass bar where the gay party goes on. Riverside gay parties, probably. I haven't checked there before it's come off on the banks of the Willamette.
Or I'm going to go out to my cement pad and see that there's a big hump in the middle.
Riley's missing. I sent her.
Riley's missing it, and there's a hump in my cement pad.
No, it's supposed to all, you just pour a little less cement.
Yeah.
It's the mafia
around
thing. They did it all the time. But if I took Riley to the glass bar, there's a current there. I
Come
threw a
on,
stick.
don't talk about this.
Oh, I'd want her to
What I see happening in this situation is Andy gets into the water to try to coax Riley into the current, and then the current, and Riley stays on the beach barking at Andy as he
Riley's
sails
smart.
out. Yes, as Andy says.
She
And
would
then
be.
Riley, as soon as Andy fades out over the horizon in the water, Riley walks over to a nice gay man and
I
says
would need.
hello, and now has a new place to live.
I would need 3 gays or 3 men and me to carry her to get her there. Even that's the thing. It's a bitch to get there. You got to walk, and she can't do that shit. It's just to get her there, to let her drown, it would require a lot of manpower. When you're going to a gay,
No real code
when you're going
words
to
here.
a gay riverside place with 4 guys, you don't want to show up all sweaty.
Everyone's like, "Oh, he's done already.
I just
He
gotta
already
take.
did it."
I just gotta take a breath and bow down every 3rd step. Oh my god! Oh no! No, I couldn't do that. Riley's, she's gonna go naturally at home, but I just was like, kind of had my countdown, thinking, all right, man.
I think you started too early, bro. I think
know.
I think Delaney's right.
Mhm.
She set you straight. 11's a little
Well,
early to start.
her husband now, Brad. Every time he's visited here, we've had a pet die.
Oh,
So
well, then get him
if
back
we just
over.
schedule
Yeah, just
him in,
make him up a room.
yeah, September,
That's,
come,
That's not a little suspicious.
Black Widow brother-in-law or son-in-law.
yeah.
Been
It's,
watching a lot of ID channel, I know.
Yeah.
But,
maybe he, whatever he does, saved us on the one. He didn't get Darwin in time, but I would like a hospice. I mean, they should do that. They should do roadside. I'm sure they do, but I mean,
It wasn't going to be a great idea.
I just have my
anyway,
own
so.
kit.
Probably saving him from
Yeah,
something
no.
back in the mail.
the remix.
I don't have a passion for killing animals, but I like to be with them when it goes down. I can try to, sorry about this, man.
What's the alternative to
Well,
put some
I mean, some
proxy
people,
with a lady crying in the front row and you not be there?
well, so I guess, I mean, some people don't necessarily, turn them over to the vet and walk out. I'm there. Brett's there, right?
Family pet, you have well.
No, I mean, I don't know how, I mean, should we go? I don't think anybody hung out with Bob when he went down. That was an oversight. I was just an asshole. Should have hung out with Bob, man.
Yeah, you got to hang out with. You got to be there, man.
Yeah. Make you cry later. What happened to Bob?
It used to be like like the parents would got the lion haircut and he killed him or went to die. And then that was on a Friday of a football game against South Umpqua, and they were a much better team than us. Farm boys had a much better record the year before, and we got beat 52-0. But somebody, and it wasn't me, I had black tape for myself. I wanted to remember my dog. Tim Counts handed out black tape to everybody. And so everybody,
you're supposed to use the black tape to like tie up your socks.
No, well, it was like a memorial.
to like tie around your knee pads and stuff on your football uniform.
It was popular at that time.
And Andy makes an armband for his dead dog.
It was an impromptu thing, and if it would have been my last time on a football field.
Interesting. The question was, how did he die? And
he went to die.
Did he die from shame from that trumping you got?
52-0 South Umpqua.
Well, no, we dragged him out of there, and we dragged him out of the corner of the yard, and we took him to the vet where they killed him. I was like, why didn't we just wait 10 more minutes? But we drove him over to Myrtle Point and killed him, or he got euthanized, and then I was bummed out, and I was like, we're gonna win one for the Bobo.
And you lost 52-0.
Yeah, South Umpqua was the wrong team to load up.
Bob should have died next week when you played Coos Bay.
They should have waited till Bandon or Myrtle Point anyway.
Bob had been in that corner since last week trying to die.
Yeah. God damn it.
If you I mean, what do you call that when you do that for, you know, like I'm doing this in my dog's memory or what, a tribute or whatever. And then it's like, you got to get a win.
Yeah,
And-
but you planned it. You could have waited till you had an easier team, or at least a team with at least one loss.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bob chose to disappear and die then. And it was like, all right, you know, it's like the odds are against us, boys. You know.
Also, Andy didn't play. So it's like
I got to play, you know, I was responsible for right out of the gate, you know, some scores or whatever, but you get kind of warmed up.
Wait.
The superior
That's got to be, first of all, of course, if you say that you're responsible for some scores, that you know that's negative because you lost 52-0. So your
Right.
team didn't score.
There were some special team breakdowns. Definitely some special team breakdowns that I was a part
You're
of.
doing it for Bobo and you're giving up touchdowns
I
on
know.
kickoffs.
I know, yeah.
Why would you even tempt fate?
I don't think
I
everybody.
mean, a real tribute to Bobo would have been a fucking the 0 score for the other team.
Oh yeah.
No,
I
the
would-
tribute to Bobo would have been the whole team going off into the corner of the field and fucking hiding, which some of
Dying.
you did.
That's
not everybody. There were a few people who didn't wear the tape, and you know.
Oh, and that's why it
like,
didn't work. Like thoughts
Well,
and prayers.
Yeah,
It would
Christian
have been
Science.
nice. It would have been a, you know,
People
it would have
with
been nice
pride.
to be on a team that had unity. As a player who put, you know, 70% effort out at practice, you know, they always said 100%. All right, bullshit. I'm not fucking burning no 100% out here. It's hot and this helmet's fucking making my head sweat.
Oh
I'll do
man.
70. But yeah, so we fucking got routed. And then the next week I wasn't even invited to travel with the squad. As a senior, it was the only time a senior's never made the travel squad. Even retarded, even when we dressed retarded kids, they put them on the bus.
Well, it sounds like if you lost 52-0 to South Umpqua, you know what?
I
don't
quit.
care on
I
the
quit
bus
while the
next
quitting was good.
Yeah, I mean, look, what's the difference?
There's people who stay to, you know, a little too long. It was like, I quit. I was like, man, you know, I mean, I could have given it a speech. It's like, boys, I think this is as close we're going to come to a win. You guys suck. The coach knocked over, we used to get orange wedges, and he so that this was the year we were going to turn it around. And we were 2-7 the year before, and he said, by God, we will not be 2-7. And that year we were 1-8. But I was 0-1. I quit. I don't know that I think we quit and broke up. It was like real hard to tell if I got kicked off the team or I quit the team. It was like kind of simultaneous. But then I checked. The coach was like in taxi. He was, you know, he would have had to sprint like he ran out on the field to catch me, because he was in an area where you know, the towels or whatever, and I wasn't on the travel team. I saw that, and then I handed in my gear, but I chucked it at him. Like I had the helmet and the shoulder pads, and I threw it at him, and I go, fuck you, I quit. And he like, you know, it would have taken him. I would have, you know, like, you think I'm going to stand here, coach? You got another thing coming. You think
Wait,
I'm going to run?
What if that would have been his secret motivation to get you to like unleash your 100% of your energy? Like, now that's the speed
I
we've been
put 'em-
talking about on
Yeah,
the as a
somebody was-
wideout, Andrist.
yeah. Well, you know, I would
You're back on the team.
Yeah, I could have helped. I think we would have been, you know, modestly, I think we could have won 3 games that year if I would have. I was doing my research. That first game, I might have got burned a couple of times or whatever, but then you're like, okay, now how can I make this work to my advantage? You know, and I wasn't always going to be up against that. You know, that particular team had some big, fast fucking.
So was South Umpqua the first team of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
because
lost the first game of the year, 52-0.
They pasted us. Yeah, they weren't in our league, literally.
Well,
know.
you weren't in theirs.
We were their preseason piece of shit.
I'll tell you what, they're just coming off of a 9-2 season.
Yeah, you wouldn't fucking, you know,
They're no joke, man. They're still riding pretty high, dude.
Tokyo's still, you know, inbreeding and a little bit of inbreeding, a weak food supply. You know, what do they call
He's
that?
saying that it's a food desert there. Is that the
Well,
the
but
nutrition
South Umpqua,
to
them
be,
kids are eating off dairy, you know, big fucking dairy fed kids and shit. And Kokio, you know, there's a bakery.
Aren't you guys all supposed to be like lumberjack children and
No,
shit up in
yeah,
Oregon?
back in the day, but not anymore. There's no fucking, you know, there's a few burnouts that still work in the woods, I guess. Now it's all probably firefighting. Like, don't fucking worry about cutting them down.
oh
till
yeah,
they burn.
yeah. Jumper.
That's what I'd put I'd call it the Coquille fucking firefighters. And just have the whole team, that'd be their image. We can't play up to Satan's level anymore. When in the 70s we could pull it off, whereas you know, the music we got into the devil a little bit, but now it just doesn't work. It's embarrassing to Satan to have Coquille affiliated. And it's racist too. Red devils. That's what we used to call the Italians. Especially that one who was crying about garbage.
It's a nice right turn you took there.
Right. Wasn't that an Italian that was crying over the litter bugs? Remember the Indian who cried?
Yeah, he was actually an Italian.
Iron Eagles, Iron Eyes Cody.
You can be racist about Indians as long as it's that one who didn't have any right being. Wow, that's a cool Satan though. That's better than.
That's Iron Eyes Cody right there.
That's him, huh? Did we
That's,
talk on
that's
here
Google
about
Eyes
that,
Cody.
did we talk on here about that documentary on Yellowface? I think it was
Yellow
they have a
Legs?
whole, they have a whole documentary about like blackface but yellowface,
Oh, really?
where they all the instances where people did yellowface and
Meaning that they used a white actor.
or
to
yes.
Oh,
play
yeah.
Asian.
Asians.
Marlon Brando and Peter Sellers and stuff like that.
Mickey Rooney
Mickey
in
Rooney, yeah.
Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'll tell
Oh,
you
man.
what, I have never laughed so hard at things that I was supposed to be offended at.
Yeah.
And Jenny did too, and she is like
A yellow face.
yeah, she's a yellow. So it was all right. We laughed so hard. I want to watch Breakfast at Tiffany's.
It's
now.
called Yellowface, Asian whitewashing and racism in Hollywood.
Yeah.
The connection to blackface is I mean, I can see that that does seem like a funny thing.
Well, those
Because any white person doing an Asian accent is just hilarious.
and
Bad.
the glasses too. Those remember the
But-
glasses you could get?
Yeah, I got it right here. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah,
Yes.
that was one of the hard ones to go. We can't do that no more. I grew up doing that. Japanese dirty knees.
Chinese,
The
Japanese, Chinese.
yes, that dude.
Yeah.
And Mickey Rooney, he was his character in that movie was just an aside, like a comic relief, but it stands the test of time, man. That is,
I fell the fuck off
How
the
do
couch.
people not think that's funny?
and I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, Breakfast at Tiffany's. He is so fucking overacting, like Mickey Rooney was wont to do, but he's so over the top and doing his spiel. It is fucking hilarious.
Good for
Yeah.
him.
Look at those chompers, man.
Well,
gotta-
it's,
gotta bring that shit
highly
back.
offensive, apparently. But
Oh, it's highly offensive.
we fucking died laughing.
But, I mean, they didn't use Native Americans.
The
in
humor is like
movies either.
the humor is like twofold now. It's them being silly and outrageously racist, and the laughs you get from that, from an audience reaction to that, and all that. It's one of those. It's probably I'm going to watch that because I'm sure it's hilarious. I mean, just the characters who were Asian. Like Hop Sink for
Hop
instance.
Sing.
Hop Sing. Even the ones who, God damn it, he was a
Every
white
time you mispronounce that one, it cracks
Every
me up.
single time.
Every single
in
time.
my backyard working on the slope, thinking, how do I say hop sing? Hop sing. No, man. All right, just do the yard work. Make this part of the yard.
But no,
Stand
he was
out.
a cook.
Mm-hmm.
Do the yard
Oh man,
work.
hop sync would be good in the Bear. Throw him into the modern kitchen with his bullshit.
Oh,
This is
God
Livingston
damn it,
and
guys.
hop scene. How do you say it?
Hop sing like it's like
Hop
a
sing.
Sing a song.
Sing.
Where's
hop
he do the
sing.
dishes?
Oh, God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys talked. Have you guys talked about 4th of July at all?
No.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Patriots
So
Day.
Oh,
I
a little
actually-
bit. We talked about the coasters. We were wondering, Chaille, you might know before you tell your
Coaster
story,
races.
Did somebody ever die in those coaster races?
Yes, I think it was in the 70s or something. It was actually spectators. It wasn't a racer, but he was coming down. I think it was Tombstone Canyon. About Erickson, you know where the Royale is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I think it was coming down there, and he hit a turn, and the cart jumped the bales and like hit someone in the audience, and that's a spectator.
It's a
That's why they
bummer.
stopped him for the
Oh
longest.
man,
What a
yeah.
hilarious way to die.
Tombstone Canyon. You know, you don't even
Tombstone
know.
Canyon races.
Coming
Yeah.
rumbling down Tombstone, you're just maybe having a latte.
You got to pay attention. Look, if you're if you go to the Bisbee coaster races, you got to keep your head on a swivel. You got to pay attention. You cannot
Absolutely.
be fucking chatting it up. It's just like you see these fucking guys sitting behind home plate at the Yankees game. It's like, yeah, the fucking foul ball's going to come at you at 90 miles an hour. You got to watch out, you know?
Mhm.
Castle
Yeah,
Rock Kenny's
yeah.
coming down this hill and he don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So pay
But
attention.
he's not worried about the edges. He's trying to get his time.
Mhm.
Right.
And these
Yeah, he can't
coasters are
worry.
built with shit that people found. They're not,
Oh,
top
yeah.
of the line shit.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
So here, this is something that I saw.
Oh,
Yeah.
I watched. We've been talking about this at our house for fucking ever.
I
Oh,
love
Have you,
this.
have you guys seen this?
I've not seen this.
All right.
Oh,
Just-
Shaylee, don't say anything. Don't say
I'm not going to
anything.
say anything. This is the best thing about 4th of July.
Is that a baby in the middle?
Just watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Yep.
Kids love the fireworks.
The kid over here on the right. Oh,
You cannot stick it in the ground. It's not going to work. Who did that? You got to put it in the shoe.
oh shit! Fire to the van.
Wow.
That is fucking insane. I've
That's
watched
a-
it 20 times if I've watched it.
What
once.
would the truck go up or?
Well, what happened was in the beginning, they put a skyrocket, but it wasn't like a bottle rocket. It was one that had a charge in it, and they stuck it in the ground. You can hear someone in the background going like, "You can't do it that way. You got to put it." This is what he said. He goes, "You got to put it in your shoe," and I don't know what that means. But what you would do,
Hot
like
toe?
you would put a fucking
That's
a
probably why they
piece of
didn't
pipe.
listen to that guy, Shaylee.
Exactly.
They were like, I don't.
His second statement negated the first one. It just
Right.
wiped it out. Like, oh, what are we gonna do? Oh no, he's fucking
He
crazy.
doesn't know nothing.
So what it stayed in the ground and blew up without leaving. And it was like, you're right. There was a baby in a stroller right in the beginning there. And mom picked it up and you hear him going, "See, I told you, you're supposed to put it in your shoe." And what happened was one of the sparks had went over. They had all of the fireworks,
Oh yeah.
not only like close enough that sparks could hit it, but like under the back end of a minivan, which, that whole thing lit up like a fucking, like it was insane. The amount of
Oh.
fireworks, and it just went up that quickly.
Good for them.
Yeah. That's the fucking celebration,
for it.
man. There wasn't a lot of that shit around me. It's like I heard
Yeah.
a little bit. I think, we've had those in the past, and I think everybody's afraid of being the one to start a big fire, at least in my
Well,
immediate
Yeah,
area.
Yeah.
without a doubt, dude. It's kind of over. in that sense. And a lot
Yeah,
of
there's like
places,
a-
especially out west, it's over. Like you have to be smarter. You can't, because you can burn the fucking state to the ground.
there was
Well, as much as I agree with you, Erickson, there certainly was no shortage of people lighting up fireworks here while the city of Bisbee's fireworks were going off. There was equally as much fireworks going off in the park, but they were just at a lower altitude. The ones for the city go way up because it's a professional system. These are ones brought over from Mexico that are basically just firing up like right above your head, but they're as loud. They're the mortar shells, and it's
Yeah.
I'm like, why wouldn't they wait until the big one's done? Because you've got both of these going on at the same time. Just one was way more dangerous.
Yeah.
I used to be a fuse man. I'd had a pretty good run of lighting, fireworks off and doing that shit. It's just like, I don't know why I did it. Now it's like I don't remember enjoying it,
Too bad they don't let us do it out at Panamint. Would be the
Oh
place
my,
to do it.
yeah.
'Cause you
I
really
did light
can't
one
burn
off.
anything down. It's all sand and rocks.
They do have shake shingle roofs on those old.
Well, you'd have to get out away from the,
Absolutely, yeah.
But I always thought like that would be the perfect place for it. 'Cause you've got the
I think
setting.
it's the
and
litter
You
aspect.
don't want to be
of
the
it.
one who
Probably,
burns
yeah.
down Death Valley. Like,
Well, what could you burn down?
Nothing.
There's nothing to burn.
There.
I know.
There's
You
nothing
shoot-
to.
Yeah, no, I shot one off the first year and I got hit in the balls. It was like a mortar and it hit me in the balls. So, and then they come over and said, that was like the one rule.
Yeah.
Well, I brought it all this way and then I shot myself in the nuts with it. And then they
Is
come
this a
over. and
performance
investigate
art piece or something? I mean,
Yeah.
why-
kind of turned out that way.
Mm,
And then I, basically, was like punishment already, it's already
Yeah.
been enacted. So I'm kind of done. Took the steam out of it, the operation. But
Well, you remember that first Panamint, they had that couple that came in late and
Uh-huh.
grabbed one of the hotel room or one of the cabins under the explanation
right.
that look, the party has rented out the whole place. There is a room open, but you have to understand that they've rented the place, which was us. And we were so loud that at 2 or 3 in the morning, they said, fuck it, we're never going to go to sleep. And they lit off a shit ton of fireworks
Uh-huh.
in the back of the car, which we were all fucked up. It was awesome.
uh-huh.
Great.
Best
was-
protest ever, right?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
More.
They might as well have thrown their drugs in our faces on the way out.
Take this.
We won't be needing all those drugs. We're leaving, you assholes. We did clear out who was that? The Houston guy, Babbitt. That year Babbitt took off and left his pills that were all mashed up and snorted.
Babbitt from the comedy.
Yeah,
what is it?
he showed up and he had drugs and a girlfriend, and I think he left with neither of those things.
Both stayed behind.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what happened, but
It's
I
a
know
pretty
we're-
Panamint Panamint story right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go in with expectations because they will
Yeah.
not be met. It'll be
Whatever
good.
you bring, be prepared to leave behind.
Yeah, that's right. Every year I tried to leave Mitchell, and every year she was still in the car.
Hey ho.
What did Babbitt? He worked. Was it the what was
Comedy, the last stop.
Was it Laugh Stop
I
in
think-
Austin,
No, in Houston.
Houston?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's Houston Laugh Stop.
I don't know where he was coming from, but he was there that first year for a short amount of time. He was in and out, and then we're like, I just remember snorting his pills. Who's? Oh, Babbitt. Okay.
As
Whose
you come up from
suitcase
the
is this?
table. Who was
What's the name on the bottle?
that? AIDS.
Oh, only eat a quarter of those, man.
Fuck. Ah.
I think that guy with the AIDS he's still maybe anyway, he lived a long time after that.
Who?
The AIDS guy, the guy
Yeah.
anyway. I think you
You
were
might
One
have
guy
been-
who had AIDS.
Yeah, Andy was getting his drugs from A guy with
AIDS patient.
Yeah.
Getting
You missed-
marijuana
I
in
think you missed
Hollywood.
that part of the
Oh.
story.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Back before Pride was
The
even a thing.
our buddy Jeff from the Comedy Store, who played the piano
Yep.
forever, who just died during the pandemic, had a heart attack. He was and he had AIDS, and he lived for, I don't know, what, 30 years with it.
Yeah.
But he was one of the first guys. He was on that high, like he still was taking, I think, like
AZT?
AZT.
Yeah.
Like he was one of the only people left who was still taking it. It was still working. And that guy was the best. So
He is a great guy. I
run.
remember
Yeah.
I just met him like in the last 2 years before the pandemic when we were coming out there.
Yeah, I mean, the pandemic changed everything, and it definitely changed the Comedy Store. But him dying was a real blow to that
Yeah.
place, because he was like,
It's like a 1-2 punch with that.
yeah, he was just like everybody's friend, and it was just,
Mhm.
it just, even if a bunch of people wouldn't have moved away, it would have, it just felt completely different not having him playing the piano on the side of the stage. He'd been doing it since the fucking 90s. I mean, fuck. So here's to AIDS.
Yeah. Everybody had it back then. It's like it's a scary time.
So speaking of products made in Mexico, there he is.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
That
dude.
old
I
Jeff
mean,
Scott,
yeah.
fucking beautiful
Mhm.
man. Cheers
Yeah.
to Jeff Scott. If you ever were in the Comedy Store in the last 30 years, you've heard Jeff Scott play the piano when they brought up
Yeah.
a comedian.
I know. I mean, I've talked to him too. I know. I
Mhm.
definitely heard his music there.
Fucking sweet
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Is there another piano player there now, or did they?
I don't know. They
Oh,
were.
Yeah.
I mean, they had other guys who he didn't work every night, so they had other guys on off nights too. So actually, they had. I think it might be that Chevy Chase's daughter was working at the Comedy Store in the box office, and she was a piano player, and I think she might have taken over a little bit, but they also may have just kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
it's
not really sure.
to be there
Honestly.
every night too. Like he was there almost
Every
night, right?
fucking night, smoking bowls out of one of those old like 80s bowls. It was like a
Mhm.
brass bowl, with,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
like with the weird design thing, and you could like undo it, and you had to
It looked
take
like a piece of a hookah.
all the parts of it screwed apart for
Yeah.
some reason, and it had a screen in it, and like still smoking bowls out of that constantly.
That's
Like,
a certain age of a man that has that pipe.
oh,
that
absolutely.
Swears by it and cleans
and
it
hasn't lost it.
Yeah. I had a phase of those that get too fucking gummed up. It was like required, precision maintenance, and that ain't.
Yeah, not your forte. That's for
No,
sure.
I was going through my my pipe box the other day, and that Marty made me. Then looking through it, and it's I've got
There
a
it is.
prototype in there. If you remember those
Yeah, I
are
remember.
Prototype?
prototype.
Oh yeah.
PROTO?
Yeah, they've got a little barrel that you can store.
Oh
your
yeah,
feed
I've
in.
seen those.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
they've
That's I
got
know
the-
exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
And you got a little cover, so if you get caught really quick, you can snuff it out.
Cover it up in a little
Uh-huh.
poker, then it pops out the.
I had no idea they had a name for that. I mean, of course they had a name for it. I'm just not a weed smoker.
It was invented by Tommy Proto.
Tommy Proto. Yep,
There it is.
there it is.
That's it right there.
That's like a weed pipe James Bond. Like Q would
Yep.
give that to James Bond. Is it Q or M?
Q.
Q.
LGBTQ.
LGBTQM.
It's that's the Q part, is that guy with all the little props and shit.
So it's not. So Q doesn't mean queer. It means cool stuff.
Cool gadgets. Well, gadgets that you can use in your ass. Q gadgets.
That's the thing, James. It goes in your ass.
Yeah. That would get people fired up, huh? Very gay. Woke Bond.
Uh,
It just solves hate crimes. But weren't they? They were making. I think they were talking about bringing in a different, like a black Bond, right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
Idris.
Idris
Elba.
Yeah,
Elba.
yeah.
Idris Elba.
Is that?
Yeah.
I don't care. Yeah, to
They
me,
talked. I just heard. Smartless just had. Is it Idris?
Idris.
Idris. He was on there, and it was a great interview. Smartless is such a good podcast, and he was talking about that. And he's like, "Yeah, it's really great to be nominated or to be thought of in that vein of like being a Bond character or a Bond to be the lead." And then the hate started coming.
Yeah.
I just had to stop. I have nothing to do with it. And these people want to act like, and it's like the very select people that were objecting to it and then just spouting all sorts of hate just ruined any kind of joy he could have.
yeah,
And
That's a
I don't know
stupid-
who's doing it now.
it's a job.
Uh,
Shouldn't
that
even be.
sucks.
It's like fucking 007. It's just the title.
I thought
Right.
he would be a
Anybody.
pretty good candidate for that.
Absolutely.
It was the same thing whenever he was the Roland in the Gunslinger movie. Everybody kind of, I guess, got pissed off because and I was like, well, I don't care. That seems like a cool casting. And
Yeah.
then it turned out it was just a really shitty movie. And it didn't
Right.
really matter who was in it. The movie just sucked.
The thing about Idris Elba is that he's so fucking good that when he became a star because he was on The Wire, and he played Stringer Bell on The Wire, and he was amazing.
Great.
And when they were casting for The Wire, they wanted people from Baltimore, like they
Exclusively.
exclusively. So
Yes.
they in fact cast a bunch of people who were not actors, who were just fucking people who lived in Baltimore on the streets fucking doing shit, and they cast them and said, we'll teach you to act, we want you to be authentic.
Yeah.
So he auditioned for the role of Stringer Bell, and he told them he was from Baltimore, and he was so fucking good they believed him. And they did not know, like, when you hear somebody and then you hear them talk and they have an accent from fucking, and you're like, oh my God, he's from England?
Yeah.
Like, that not only happened to the audience, that happened to David Simon and the fucking people who cast The Wire. They thought he was so fucking good, they thought he was from Baltimore, and he's from
Well,
fucking
this
Baltimore.
is a little more detail on that, Brett, because that interview they talked about that. He was going back for his fourth callback, so he was pretty sure he had it, and he just didn't have to bring up where he was born. And he went in there and he was nervous, but he's like, I fourth callback, come on.
Yeah,
And he knew
I gotta do it.
everyone was from Baltimore. And and even like on the guys on the other side of the table during that fourth read, one of the guys was Irish.
Uh-huh.
And at the last minute, he pipes up, "Where are you from?" That's when it came up.
Oh,
And
really?
they liked him so much that they went against what their goal
Yeah.
was to get all people from
God
Baltimore.
damn.
But yeah, that show
Very
was so
cool.
good. I came into that late and I just couldn't get enough of it. It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's worth a revisit.
This is it. This is his new thing right here called Hijack.
Jack.
H
Where's the high? Okay.
I Jack.
Well, the high is slanted.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
a little.
Hey, come on, Andy. There's no reason to be Yellowface on this.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. It's just an I. Okay.
I saw it. I saw it as a.
You thought it was a /.
Yep.
H/Jack.
Hi, Jack.
thought that was his name.
Well, I'm not contributing to Apple, but I'll watch it someday.
Why not?
Because they keep track of you, and you can't. They're a greedy company.
Wait a minute,
Corporation.
Andy. All these cameras that catch you doing weird shit all the time, they're tracking you.
Oh, I know, but Apple.
Every
Apple-
store you go into has cameras watching you as you come in and shop. They're
If they give you like they
seeing
say,
what
hey,
you
man,
buy.
let's be friends. Hey man, do you want to be my friend? Sure, let's be friends. And then I'll give you 90 days free TV. And then after that, it should be easy to cancel. Well, it wasn't. And so I canceled the credit card. And then months later, I'm still paying for Apple TV.
Oh,
that's
God, if you
and-
canceled the credit card,
I got
how-
a different credit card, and then I made contact with their company, different wing, and then they track me down and go, "Oh, hey, this guy's buying a home product. You might want to talk to him over in the TV side because he owes for 3 or 4 months of TV." Which I didn't watch because I can't. When I canceled the credit card, I stopped watching the television. So they just stay with you. So I don't want to
So
fucking.
you had the trial. Sometimes if you buy an Apple product, they'll give you like 3 months for
Oh
free.
my God,
Yeah.
Andy.
But you had a subscription service, and then instead of going through the customer service with Apple to cancel and tell them, look, this is really difficult to do this. Can you just do this for me? Can you cancel it?
I don't
You
have
decided to
arms.
call the credit card company and cancel the
Cancel
credit.
everything. Cancel everything. I'm
Yeah.
So then you
canceling
would have to
everything.
contact all the vendors
Nobody
that you use
has
that credit
any-
card for.
Nobody has the right to bill me going forward for
No.
TV
You're right.
in particular.
But somehow you gave them permission again because how would they
Because
get
I-
the new
And
credit
then,
card?
got
yes,
back on their
then
radar.
later he comes back to it. He's like, you know what? I am going to get an Apple product. And they're like, hey, what about this TV thing? Oh, you're right. I do owe you.
Throw
Here
it in there. Put it in the
Yeah,
card.
it was like finding
Sorry.
out I owed acting dues, or I owed union dues for acting months after I quit acting. In fact,
Yeah, but just because you quit acting doesn't mean you quit the organization you're involved in. You have to physically
that's what
like
Half
notify
Pint.
them.
I got a notification letter from Half Pint, Melissa Gilbert at the time, saying I was, I was out and
You're a delinquent.
delinquent. I owed her money. for
Yeah,
her.
well, the prairie's a tough place to live, bro.
Yeah, man.
But I imagine if I ever did act again, if I popped up on the acting radar, they would want money for all those,
All those back months.
back months of because I don't know. I mean, I owed them. Do I still owe them? That's why I got out of the acting game.
Oh, that's why.
I'll do a little around here or whatever.
Canceled that credit card and got the fuck out of there.
Sometimes I act more tired than I am or whatever. Or
Andy, when were you in the acting game? Was it the Man Show stuff?
it was in the Man
Like,
Show.
like a writer credit or something?
Yeah, I said, tastes like piss, and I got $600, and then that put me in the union.
Yeah.
$600 became I owed them money.
Wait, that was in front of the camera.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Well,
Screen
Yeah, but
acting
what,
skills.
didn't you have some?
Voiceover, and my ass was on. I mean, you'd see my face, but mainly I was there for the ass. Like my ass was better back then. I played Michael Douglas's surgically repaired ass, and then I was just a mechanic, and I thought, hey, I should show my ass, right? And they're like, oh, you don't need to. I'm like, yeah, trust me.
You talked him into it?
I'm an
Yeah.
artist, okay? I
Come
know,
on,
know what
I've studied the
role-
character.
I know what
Yeah,
the role
But
requires.
if you trace it back to my my origins on camera, you'd see why I just went to work dirty right away just to get the shot done.
Imagine someone watching the Man Show and going, wait a minute, doesn't that mechanic's ass look like Michael Douglas's
Yeah.
repaired
So,
ass?
Yep. And then I did a couple other things where I was on camera, but mainly they didn't want me on camera because they didn't want to pay me extra, I think. I mean, I think that was the problem with the previous Man Show, that they would stick a lot of relatives on camera just to give
Yeah.
them money. And so it was like, but in particular, these producers were like, we're shutting that down, but it didn't matter. There was no great roles in front of
I
the
mean, you
camera
weren't,
there.
Andy, you weren't like someone's cousin that was on set
Yeah, you were
available. You were
writer.
on paid staff. You were,
you were
living
Jimmy
on the
Kimmel's
offices.
uncle.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was like the A-train rule. They didn't want they didn't want me on camera because they knew it was be too much for America.
I mean,
I
when
was
you
just
think
told they
about
were
it,
cheap and didn't want to pay, that they're everything I might have learned in science and in Hollywood was probably bullshit.
Bullshit.
And
This is
algebra.
bullshit.
Fucking
Same thing you say to science, you say to Hollywood.
Yeah. How do I know
Bullshit.
that's real?
It's not
You
real.
see the results again now? I don't
I don't believe it.
boiled at what? This sounds like
This
bullshit.
doesn't sound peer reviewed.
Yeah. So I just fucking don't know if I learned anything ever. What I learned in church is bullshit. I
Yeah.
think it doesn't seem to be panning out. So pretty much, from the time I got out of an incubator, I've been fucking lied to and manipulated by the system. And now they want me to pay for acting dues. Fuck you, half a pint of potatoes.
How about you act like I paid you?
Yeah.
Wait till you see those incubator charges.
Yeah, maybe they were feeding me bullshit through the incubator too, like fucking propaganda and shit. trying to hook us up with some conspiracy theorist listeners.
Yeah, I was just saying we could get Sam Tripoli on that. They're fucking talking to the preemies. All right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah, ramp it
Yeah.
up.
Do you guys do recommendations yet?
No,
Kind of Chad did.
I just been waiting. Yeah, you told everyone about Yellow.
Oh yeah, that was a
Yellowface.
recommendation, but I have one still. My recommendation I was going to tell you guys about is an audiobook called The Stranger in the Woods. The extraordinary
Sounds scary.
story of the last true hermit. It is about the North Pond hermit, the dude that when he was 20 years old, just kind of decided, I don't know how to deal with people, disappeared into the woods in Maine, and this was not seen for 27 years.
How'd you get laid?
He never did.
you fucked deer.
Not once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like to me. It just seems like a personal hero to you.
It was
Right.
very much made me jealous and was kind of a
Yeah.
personal hero. He broke into like people's summer cabins this whole time, but he was always very sneaky. Like people couldn't catch him, people couldn't find tracks.
He's a legend.
It was very much a legend. People would call it like a hoax. People didn't know. It's a very intricate story, and he was like later diagnosed with like autism, and so that's a lot of layers to it, and pretty
That's
interesting.
I remember those stories, the news stories, because I was on the West Coast, so when something would happen like over there, we wouldn't hear a lot, but like I remember when he got caught and stuff like that.
You do?
Yeah,
The hermit?
This was pretty recent.
it was. But I remember
man.
stories about him in breaking into cabins, and then it would surface as a human interest or story that would hit the West Coast. But it was a weird thing because I didn't know the history of the guy. It was would just pop up every once in a while. It was never.
Tell me.
Imagine, I mean, look at this poor bastard. Imagine being 20 years old and going, you know what? I don't deal with people very well. I'm going to go live out in the woods by myself. And then the next time you see fucking people, they put you in handcuffs and fucking parade you back in so that you have to go to fucking jail. It's like,
Exactly why he probably went out in the woods.
I knew it. I knew it.
The thing was too, like people would say, you want to hate this guy, but you can't, because even he would, be like, don't justify it, take the whole thing. I was wrong. I stole. I belong here, put me in jail.
Where is he now?
He's well, I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but
Don't do it. I want to watch
He looks
it.
like Clint Howard. Like that. I mean, if I were making a show,
Down.
he would be on my list. Clint Howard. Let's see what he can do on this lead. He hasn't been a lead actor since Gentle Ben. Let's put him back in the driver's seat.
We could definitely find a vehicle for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
Well,
a good audiobook, good story, and
Fuck yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I watched the Evil Dead Rise on Chad's recommendation. Pretty fucking good, man.
Really?
A lot of gratuitous violence.
Oh yeah. Okay.
A lot of blood. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's really good. And the main character right here, Just really good makeup and just the way. I mean, it was a good movie. I love
That
it.
opening scene was pretty scary, huh?
Don't miss the first 10 minutes, man. And then just the way that it all ties in because after the first 10 minutes, you're like, what? Wait a minute, what? And then at the end, the way it all ties in is just fucking, it's good.
Yeah.
Good movie.
I don't like scary movies. They
You're-
scare me.
I didn't mention it, but I watched the show. Is it called The Beef?
The
I think
Beef.
it's called the
I know it's your
Yeah,
recommendation.
yeah. It's a.
But did
we
you
talked
watch
about
it?
We talked about, yeah, I did. I didn't watch it from the beginning, but I watched some of the later episodes and it was pretty fucking great. I mean,
Wait, okay. Okay, we have to find out if this is a real thing.
it
It's called
is.
The Beef, right?
Yep, and it's
Where's the beef?
Asian actors, real Asian actors. Not portray, and it's just two people who get in a car accident.
John Wayne.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I know what he's talking about. So this is a Netflix show called Beef. It's just called Beef, I think.
Oh, it's called Beef. Okay.
Where's
And
the beef?
it's Ali Wong, who's a comedian,
All right.
and it's another guy, and they have a road rage incident, and then it's an episodic thing,
Yeah.
and it goes from there. So like it starts out as this tiny little thing, and it's kind of about how you can let something, snowball on you.
Yeah.
And that's what happens to both of the characters. I don't know much more about it other than that, but it does seem like I know more about it than the person who watched it.
Yeah, no, my friend Mac was watching it, and I was like, I kept, getting filled in on what was going on, and then I watched like the last 3 episodes of it, which were really good.
So
I
Ali
entered it late.
Wong is great. She's a very funny comedian. She was the comedian who famously did her Netflix special while like
8 months and 28 days pregnant.
yeah, super pregnant. And
Really? Yeah. Go ahead.
no, I'm just saying that's where, that's what made her kind of famous. And she's very funny. And I think she was behind, I think a couple of the shows about there was an Asian sitcom about an immigrant family.
Is that
came
Margaret
over.
Cho's?
No.
No, not Margaret Cho's show. It was, I can't remember what it was, but she was heavily involved in that, and she's a super talented woman. I don't know who the guy is.
He was in The Walking Dead. He was like one of the original.
Oh, he's the
What's
he's
his
the one
name?
to get his head caved in.
The pizza delivery guy.
Yeah, that's that dude.
Glenn.
all right. There you
Glenn.
go.
Even
So-
young.
It's a shame that we can't go back and change out Ali Wong with like Gwyneth Paltrow and just give her a black wig and
Yeah, big teeth.
something on the eyes.
Oh, you crashed your car
Oh,
into me.
You'll hit the car.
That's okay. We all drive like
we all
that.
bad driver. We all bad driver. I would have loved to have heard Argus Hamilton's jokes about this show.
Oh my God, totally.
Fuck.
Oh, I do want to say that I have gotten back into watching from the beginning Deadwood. It's
What a great.
it is
show.
such a fucking good show. I'm in 2nd season already, and I'm like, if I fall asleep for any amount of an episode, I rewind it the next
Yeah.
day and watch it, just because that's what happened when I watched it the first time. I'm catching like so much shit that I didn't know about.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And I mean, even if you did watch it by paying attention and not the way I watch TV, you would still catch things. But the thing with that show that is just so fucking amazing to me is the setting, the set that they have built.
It's crazy.
Just like they must have had a team that was just fucking working on making the mud
Yeah.
streets to be realistic to like what it was, because back then there was no sanitation, but and that was part of what they're doing. They're getting together, city officials to do things that they would have to do back then. And I never caught any of that the first time. And I want to try and find a book or something, an audiobook that does someone from production talking about the trials and tribulations of being on set, producing that. It's an amazing production.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible show.
Yeah.
I have a show that's also a thing on HBO. It's a documentary on HBO. and it's about the Avett brothers. I don't know if I've talked about this before.
Avett,
Avett, A-V-E-T-T, the
Yeah.
Avett brothers. I think it's called May It Last. See if that's what it's called, Chaille.
Yep.
But it's a documentary Judd Apatow made about the Avett brothers. And it's an amazing, I've watched it 4 or 5 times. It's incredible. They're incredible people and incredible musicians. And I bring it up because on tomorrow, 2 days from now, when you guys are all watching this podcast, I'm going to be at Red Rocks in Denver, Colorado with Carrie Mitchell and my daughter Olivia watching the Avett brothers. And I couldn't be happier to do it. And they're so fucking good. And watch this. If you have HBO, watch this fucking documentary. If you don't know about the Avett brothers, there's probably a couple songs you have heard that you didn't know was them. But the sort of relationship they have, the way we talked last week about like, oh, I'm fucking Ted Lassoing people now. I'm trying to be fucking nice to everybody. These are 2 of the nicest fucking guys in the world. They're 2 brothers who are extremely talented. And instead of doing the whole brother rock and roll thing where they sort of hate each other and they fight all the time, like every other set
Like
of
the
rock and
Kinks?
roll brothers, like the Kinks, like the Black Crowes, like Oasis, these guys nourish each other's talent. They're kind to each other. They're creatively kind to each other. It's incredible. It's wild. And the documentary follows them on the making of the album that came out, I think in 2017, called True Sadness. And it's a great album. And it ends with them they're in the studio with Rick Rubin for a good portion of it. And he's great too. One of the last scenes of it, they're playing a song called No Hard Feelings. And it's the last time I saw the Avett brothers, it was their final song of the night. So it's just this incredible, it's moving to me. I cry when I hear this song. So if you want to feel some feels and you like music, check out May It Last on HBO. And I'll be there watching them live at Red Rocks for my first Red Rocks concert. So
Oh,
very,
nice.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, you'll love it.
Right on, man. All right, that's it. So you guys get out there, do all that stuff and live your life. And we love having you guys here. Thank you for being here. I love all 3 of you guys for doing this every week with me. My favorite 2 hours of the week, except when I'll be watching the Avett brothers for 2 days.
Oh, we take second.
Yeah, you're not as
that,
good.
huh?
Yeah,
What if
write
they
a
have a
fucking
big
song,
fucking
Chaille.
brother shit out and call it like,
Yeah.
fuck you, bitch.
That would be incredible. That would be
Yeah.
pretty incredible,
Be
actually.
like Van Morrison, how he closes his concert every night.
I'm gonna start texting you all the inspiring shit I do every day.
Please do it, dude. I'm already. I check every Monday motivation. I'm like, Chad's right again. God damn it, this guy's a fucking genius.
He hasn't been wrong on those.
Fucking genius every
Chad
time.
went for a hike with Tom Konopka up in Ramsey Canyon.
Oh,
And then
man.
I got reports that Chad was texting from a bar in public the other night.
I did see the bar picture and I was very excited about it.
That's more depressing than it's.
Although he was contemplating beating the fuck out of someone while he was there.
That is, well, then that's when I knew it was real.
Baby step. Right.
You should just always have your edibles with you, and then be prepared to have a cab come get you.
Yeah. Night time.
Chad,
All right. We love you guys. If you're not part of our Patreon, please do it. Patreon.com/issues with Andy. That's a slash. That's a /, not an I.
Yeah.
Patreon.com issues with Andy. So just join up. It's $5 a month. It's nothing. And what do you get for it? You get the pleasure of being one of our Patreon subscribers. It's fantastic. It's
be
worth
one
it.
of the 240,000 in heaven.
That's right. You're gonna make it. You are gonna make it. And we love you. We're gonna be right back here next week. We'll do it again and we'll see you then. Thanks. See you.